The world's #1 long drive coach shared with me the formula to turn short hitters into big hitters. So if you're tired with hitting the ball way shorter than you think you can, or you want to pick up some club head speed to become the longest hitter in your group, this is the video for you. So we're going to dive into #1, the low-hanging fruit that you can fix to be able to pick up some really easy distance. #2, we're going to dive into technical inefficiencies that you'll be doing that'll be massively reducing your distance. 3, how to use the ground properly for vertical force, the power move in the golf swing. And 4, how to pick up easy club head speed with a specific type of training. So this is the exact formula he used with me many years ago, so I can attest that it does work extremely well. So first one, low hanging fruit. So let's get straight into it. Tee height, ball position, strike location. If you can get those 3 right, you're going to massively maximize the speed, ball speed you can create with your current club head speed. So what we need to do, we need to tee the ball up a little bit higher. So I want to see players tee the ball up to where at least half the ball is above the club face. So this is going to promote you to hit up on the golf ball only if you have that ball position nicely forward in the stance. So we want the ball to be minimum just on the inside of the left foot. If we tee the ball down too low and have the ball too far back, we're going to be hitting down and you're not going to be able to make the most out of your distance. So we want tee height to be nicely half a ball above that face, and we want just on the inside of that left foot. So a nice little procedure to do is tiny little step here with the left foot with 2 feet together, and then a medium step with the right. So now that's going to naturally create this higher launching drive with some lower spin from hitting more up. So that's #1, and also on the #1, and that is making sure you are striking the ball out the middle of the face or out high toe middle. So those 2 areas to strike the ball out the face will massively increase your ball speed because it will lower spin and it will really shoot off the club face better, improving that smash factor. So many golfers hit the ball out the heel, resulting in this big, really weak cutty shot. They'll be spinning like anything, can really be massively dropping down ball speed. Even if you hit it massively off the toe, you will again really drop your ball speed down. So simple way to really go about practicing this is get some powdered athlete foot spray, or now you can get strike sprays on the market. Spray your club face down and you'll get a very good, accurate representation now of where you hit that ball off the club face. So if we have a go here, let me hit one. Let's see where I'm at. So for me there, I was just a little bit hillside of middle. So that's gonna go okay, but it's not gonna go as optimally as I would want. So what I've got to do from there, let's just physically, just by thinking this, right, I want to move this a little bit more central, maybe a little bit higher and toe side also. So let's see how we do there. So we can physically move our strike location just by thinking it without technical intervention. So let's have a go. Let's have a look there. As we can see, done just that, high, middle, toe. So that would be a bomb, that shot. If we hit it high, middle, toe area, that's the lowest spinning part of the face. Down here off the heel, that is the highest spinning part of the face. We don't want to hit it down that low heel. We want to hit middle or high middle toe for that low spin. And if we're not doing that, we're not making the most out of the club head speed we've got, because our ball speed will be too low for what we're doing. So #2, and that is improving your technical inefficiencies. So this is where generally just improving your golf swing in your main certain areas, because generally just becoming better golfers with better swings will make you hit the ball further just by being technically more sound. So the thing that I see for golfers that robs them of the most speed is excessive club paths. So this is going to be individual to all of you, but this is the thing I see most often, especially golfers who are over the top. Because if you are over the top, for example, really having that club move on the outside, poor sequencing in a downswing, chopping across the golf ball, you are doing what's called a glancing blow across the ball. So imagine here, you're someone who's trying to punch something. If you're going to punch something and put the most amount of force that you're producing into that object that you're punching, you would punch it square on. That's really where you're going to have the most amount of force applied. If you then go and punch something with the same force, but then graze it, you're not going to put near as much of that force into the object you're trying to hit. It's the same thing with the golf ball. So if you are just cutting across it, you are essentially grazing when you're punching something. You're not putting your force into that golf ball. You're not going to produce that much ball speed. So if we can learn to hit this ball more square on with a path, a much more reduced club path, from the outside or inside, then we're going to be much better with creating some decent distance. So again, let's use the analogy of an over-the-top golfer. This is how I will go in a really simple way to be able to fix it for you. It's just have something like here with my swing plate. Now, a swing plate with extension pole attachment, it's ultimately an alignment stick that I'm going to swing underneath, because if I don't swing underneath this, I swing over the top, it's going to be a bad time. So I've just got to go and swing underneath this, put a nice swing on it, nice and slow and controlled to start off with, so I won't hit it. And if I'm an over-the-top golfer and I've swung and missed that and I make good contact with it, I'm going to hit the ball further because I'm going to have less of that glancing blow across it. So a really good one to be able to implement into your practice. Now, if you want one of these, the swing plate, really useful training aid, there's a link in the description, and that's JChownGolf, all in lowercase at checkout for 10% off. Really, really good one. So again, link in the description. But if you want to fix your club path, this is the best way to go about it, and you will massively increase your ball speed. But again, any technical inefficiencies you have in your golf swing will be robbing you of speed. So really make sure you know your swing. Lessons are also in the description. If you want some online lessons with me, we can get to the bottom of it, but know your swing. So number 3, that is vertical force. Now, using vertical force properly in your golf swing is absolutely necessary to be able to create as much effortless speed as you possibly can. It is the biggest power producer in the golf swing, is vertical force. So how I'd want golfers to do that is adequately have a lowering down move in the downswing and then coming back up with some good extension. So imagine it kind of almost like a vertical jump. That's what this movement pattern is, just jumping straight up. That is what we're doing, but you have to lower down to be able to jump up high. So this is where you see players doing the squatting move and then extending that left side. So we really have to get this cue in there, because I see so many golfers, they'll either stay far too tall for too long, or they don't have any lowering down, so they're not going to have any vertical jump up, so they're not going to be able to create some decent speed. Or I'll see golfers lower down a ton and never come back up again. So that's where squatting only does something if you come back up again. So that's why I want to see players initiate this with a very specific move, and it happens naturally. So I want players to have, if you want to really get this move into golf swing like we did in our lessons with me and Lee, is we want to make sure that we are having that little lift up, or feeling like we're unweighting that lead foot. And then as we start to really get to almost completion in the backswing, slam down that left foot, or really get that weight pressure going into it. That would lower the body down a little bit. And then from there, we want to really feel like we're snapping that left leg really when we're around mid downswing. So of course, if we're having that tiny lift up, for example, and then slamming the left heel back down, and then really extending that left side, going mid downswing, we're going to be lowering in transition and then spiking that force back out the ground again, and you'll create a ton more speed, a ton more distance. So really lift up that left heel, slam it back down in transition or just before it, extend that left side. And a great drill you can do to get this portion into your golf swing, especially the extension, so that jumping out portion, is via this. So that is making sure we're having an alignment stick, having the alignment stick just down the toe line, a little bit behind that right foot there, as you can see. And I want to get this to elevate into the air around driver ball position, just via extending that left side. That's the only movement I'm doing here. And you can see that is getting us to have that stick elevate, all via left side extension. You can hear where the whip is around impact or just after it, because that's where we want to apply the speed. So lower down, explode. So number 4, generating more club head speed. Incredibly important, because you will cap out your ball speed at whatever club head speed you're at. And then you need to increase your club head speed from there to be able to get longer. So this is something me and my coach Lee Cox, who's the world's #1 long drive coach, of course, have been working on for a very long time. One of the first few things we did was work on some overspeed training. Now, What overspeed training does, of course, bumps up your club head speed. So what you have to do, you have to swing incredibly fast as you still can while still maintaining the look of an actual normal golf swing. So what that does, that bumps up the governor into what we can swing in our speed, because we all will have a governor for how fast we can swing a golf club. So if you're someone who swings it 100 miles an hour, even if you absolutely cranked on one, you wouldn't really be able to bump it up that much. Your normal cruising speed will be 100 pretty much almost every single time. So that's where doing this type of practice, getting ourselves used to swinging as fast as we possibly can, you will over time bump up that governor. So this is where you can see players gain a really good amount of miles an hour. Some players can gain 5 to 10 miles an hour more club head speed in the space of a couple months. And that is a tremendous amount more distance because you've got that brain used to doing it. But we need to do it with an overspeed training device. So I've got the Ripstick here. Now the Ripstick is, in my opinion, the best overspeed training device on the market, because not only does it have a really good practice routine and training routine to be able to do this, but it also has these 3 holes. Now these 3 holes give you a really whooshing sound when you are swinging it at the fastest, because of course we want to generate more speed, but we also want to apply that speed at the right time. So if I hear this training aid whoosh around where a golf ball will be or just after, I know that I am generating that speed at the right time. So I'm not only increasing my club head speed, I'm actually getting better with my golf swing. So we also need a device that measures the club head speed that we are producing. So this is where something like a swing speed radar, PRGR is a really good one. So something that we can swing, it will measure our speed. So what we can do with our training routine that we've got, especially for the one from Ripstick, is you make sure you're trying to swing faster and faster on every single swing. And once you're doing that and you go through your protocol you've got available to you, do that over the course of months, you are going to massively increase your club head speed. So if you want a Ripstick, there is a link in the description. Also, one of these for a discount. Absolutely essential for one, getting better at your golf swing in general from the Audible device here, but for generating more club head speed. You need an overspeed training device if you want to hit the ball further and you're serious about it, because you will absolutely do it. And you also need to hit drives as hard and as fast as you can to, again, boost up that governor. Because as soon as you get a golf ball in the way, you're going to notice you're going to swing a lot slower than you do with the training device there. So this is, again, to break that barrier, really swing it as far as you can go. I mean, ultimately in a net would be ideal because you don't want to see the ball flight, because you're not going to hit it very good doing it as fast and as hard as you can, but you absolutely need it. Just like how Bryson was training, this is exactly the same thing. So if you can do that and hard as fast as you can, you'll be able to gain some more club head speed, but you'll also be able to bridge the gap between overspeed training device and getting it into your swing faster. So if you can follow all that, that's the formula there. You will be able to hit the ball further, I can guarantee it, just like I did. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.